All right, so let's start. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Unlocking Your Adaptive, 7 Ways Forward. I'm JP. I'm a solution consultant working for Revelwood, a global Workday Adaptive Planning partner. In this series, really, we've just created this to show you quick ways to make your planning more efficient and impactful. This is the first of 7 webinars. So today is going to be around active dashboarding, how you eliminate the toggling between sheets, reports, and dashboards. Like I said, there are 7 webinars. Let me just run through the webinars real quickly. So today's going to be active dashboarding. Next week is going to be around what if scenario planning. So I'll show you how you use the new personal scenarios functionality from Adaptive to create what if scenario planning. The third one is going to be around workforce planning, not just the cost side of things, but also the people side of things. The fourth one will be around quick wins uh, to gain efficiency gains and to improve performance of your current adaptive instance. Fifth one will be around AI and machine learning. The sixth one will be around reporting, and the last one will be around AMA, so ask me anything. And in this session, our head of delivery will join the session, and you can ask him all sorts of FP&A related questions. Right, so let's kick off. So today's gonna be around active dashboarding. Like I already said, active dashboarding will reduce the toggling between sheets, reports, and dashboards in a way that you can see your changes instantly and see the impact instantly. And that will allow you to make faster and more informed decisions. So the demonstration today will be really two parts. So first, I'm going to demonstrate a pre-built dashboard example, and the second piece will be is where I build a dashboard from scratch. So show you how to do that. All right. So what you're looking at is the pre-built example of an active dashboard within my demo model. And what you see is that it is a combination of data visualization. So you'll see the 3 KPIs here, OPEX, FTE, and target. You'll see a column chart, OPEX per month, compared to target as well. And then on the left bottom corner, you'll see the sheet that I've included in here. It's just a simple expenses sheet where you can do your entries on a GL level combination. And then there's a report that shows the variances between previous forecast and a current forecast. So what we're really combining is data input and output. And like I said, that reduces the need for toggling back between your expenses sheet, between your report, and between dashboards. So that will save you some time. So on this dashboard, I have some KPIs. They're mainly around OPEX. And what I really want to highlight is this column chart where I am presenting OPEX, but also my target OPEX, and also a percentage utilization of that target. And what you see here is that in July, August, and September, we are overutilizing that target. And in October, November, and December, we're underutilizing that target. So that can give us some information and that can drive some actions. And in this case, I want to spend some more money in October, November, and December. So I can go into my expenses sheet, go into, and I'm gonna use training as an example. So since I have some money left, I might as well spend it on training, which is always good for the company. So I'm going to put in 15K in October, November, December. And once I hit save, then I am able to see the impact of that instantly, not just in this sheet. So not just looking at this version total expenses, but also in a visual way, like on this dashboard. So it instantly I see that I'm slightly overutilizing in October, November, and December. And if you look at our target, this doesn't show any variance, and that's because the target is looking at September. So maybe let's look at the yearly view. And if we select that, then what we also notice is that there's a 3.8 increase in OpEx because we have increased those training costs. Right, so we are able to see the changes and the impact much more quicker than toggling back and forth between sheets and reports. So second topic is actually building a dashboard from scratch. So how do you build an active dashboard? So what I've already done is I'm using a editable dashboard of this budget entry dashboard. So that will also have these OpEx dials, KPIs, reports, and so on. But what I'm looking to build is is an active dashboard for workforce planning. That one is still blank. I don't fully wanna build it from scratch. I'm gonna copy one KPI just to get the formatting in line with OpEx. So you can copy paste KPIs, just paste it into a new dashboard. And then I'm gonna make some changes because this is workforce planning related. So I want to look at just the data from my workforce planning model, and I'm going to select my total payroll. And let's also change the name. Let's call this payroll cost. And then I'll also create one more KPI here for FTE. There we go. Change the name. And then I'll create a more exciting visual where I'm going to combine some workforce planning related accounts. So first one is total FTE. So going into my workforce planning, select FTE. And then what I want to add to this, because I want to see total FTE, but also new hires and terminations all in one visual. So I am selecting my termination, and that's an account that I'm calculating within my workforce planning sheet. And I also want to include my new hires. And that's also an account that I'm calculating within that sheet. Right, so there we go. One quick tip. So you see here between brackets, you see the versions. If you don't want to see that, and there's a quick way to solve that, and that's just to put a space behind the name, and that will delete it like we see in here. So that looks a little bit more neat. And then what I'm also adding is a sheet because I actually want to make some changes to my workforce. So let's select the workforce planning sheet. So you see everything is drag and drop. So that makes it quite easy and fast to create these active dashboards. So there we go. My sheet is also added to this. So now I'm going to make one change to the data. So we have our current employees sitting on this sales Paris level. And what I want to do is I want to delay the new hire of this director. This director has quite a significant pay rate, so we're gonna see some impact on our KPIs. Not just on KPIs, but also on this FTE column chart. So we'll see in September, there's only 6 FTE in comparison to 7. And then also the payroll cost has decreased in September quite significantly because we're hiring this director in October now. If we go back to OpEx, we'll also see those impacts on the total OpEx and on the target percentage as well. So in October now, we are very much overutilizing our target, but in September, we're not because we're delaying that hire. So that concludes the 2 demos, showing you an existing dashboard, but also building an active dashboard. Hopefully you see that it's very easy to do and it's drag and drop, and it's really eliminating the back and forth between sheets, reports, and dashboards. There are a couple of things that I want to highlight before we close off. So we have a lot of tips and tricks on our Revelwood website. So please go and check that out. And we also have a YouTube channel where there are a lot of short videos on how to do things, but also some recorded webinars that might be very interesting to you. And then my final piece. So our next webinar is next week. There are 2 slots. So October 1st, it's from 11 to 11:15, and October 2nd, it's from 1 to 1:15. So please keep an eye out for the invitations for that, and make sure to attend this one because this one is really interesting and impactful as well. All right, so thank you, everyone. I hope to see you next week and have a great rest of your day.